this is something I've had on my mind for a year at this point, I guess. Holidays have always been a tough time. Growing up, growing up with an abuser in the household, someone who definitely isolated us from family, has always been rough. Growing up, I often thought that my family, that my mom's family hated us because I just thought, growing up, I thought that family hated us because no one ever visited us. I didn't know, I didn't know the specifics. I didn't know all of the issues, the things, the problems, the drama that had gone on before, I was even born. But unfortunately, as a kid, you still grow up with the consequences of the adults' decisions around you. And so holidays were always a bit tough. I feel like there was always drama. There still is usually. But I think I've gotten better with time with coping with that and learning to just be okay with and say, you know what, they're gonna be angry, whatever, I'll do what I can, but I can't make everyone happy. I can't split myself in pieces to be with everyone when no one wants to be together with the other people. So you make decisions. It's coming to be New Year's, and a year ago, on the 2nd of January, I was at work, and my mom sent a text. Now, my mom had put herself to a behavioral health hospital about a month before, and she had shared with me that, she was feeling quite depressed, and I had told her, if I support you, if you need to go somewhere, if I support you, I will help you in whatever ways I can. And then on January 2nd, my mom sent me a text. It was my first day back at work from the holidays, and my mom sent me a text, and I saw it right away, saying things like, I love you too, my brother and I love you too, I love you so much, take care of each other, you only have each other now, really scary things. And I saw it right away, and I texted her, and I called her right away, and there was no answer. And it only took me a few seconds to decide to call the police. And I did. And I'm very thankful to the department here in my city. They were very fast, in minutes, they asked me all the questions. In minutes, they had people out looking where her phone last pinged. And I was in another city, I was downtown in Chicago. And here is definitely not Chicago. And, it was tough. And I pretty much ran out of work. I ran right out. I said, I pretty much said, I'm not asking for permission. I'm leaving right now. I have to go. And they were very understanding. And I ran out. I went downtown. I didn't know, where is she? And I remember running through this street to get to the metro station, as kind of a limbo in between place, because from there I could either go out to the suburb, or I could easily get back to my apartment just in case. And so I waited there, talking and waiting, and I sent them everything. I sent them the texts, and they did ask me, how do you know? What is it about what she said that makes you think that, she's in danger to, a danger to herself? And I sent it to them, and they were very much like, considering she was in the mental hospital a month ago and has been struggling, and this text, they took it very seriously, and I'm very grateful that they did. She had tried, but then she drove herself to the behavioral health hospital, which is where the police ended up finding her as well. And so, I went out, and it was very quick. I went out on the metro train, and I went straight to the behavioral health hospital, and I had her admitted a year ago. And even though it was a year ago, it still feels very fresh. It's my recurring nightmare. I have the same nightmare almost every night, where I'm running through the Chicago streets, as I was, the same streets I ran through, I still dream of. Running through the streets, just not stopping and yelling into a phone. I wasn't yelling, but I feel like in my mind I felt like I was. And it still feels very fresh. And it feels really scary, because sometimes I still, see that darkness in her. And, it was really scary, because I really thought that day that I was coming home to plan a funeral. And I don't want to bury my mom, at least not so soon. I don't know. The holidays can be rough. I don't know why. I guess it's just something that's been on my mind. I feel like this year, since then, has been a year of growth. I feel like since then, therapy with myself, with my own therapist, has helped me learn better coping mechanisms. I feel like I've grown, and I hope that my mother has grown. I know she's received so much help as well. Received so much support, from domestic violence groups, helping and helping us with some things, and with helping us with groceries and some expenses like that. But I think the most important thing that reaching out and my mom going to therapy and becoming part of groups has been, one, learning coping mechanisms, learning to set boundaries, but also I think a big factor is creating a support group and hearing people's stories and knowing that you're not alone. I think that's the big thing, a community. I think, if you've ever been in an abusive situation, part of it is that you are made to feel like you are alone. And you're not. Even if it feels like that. So, I don't know. Reach out to your loved ones, even the ones you've been estranged from. If you think like there might be something going on, you don't have to be friends. Just let people know that you're there for them. And if you are in a tough situation, as hard as it is, I'd say try to reach out. I definitely am someone who kept quiet for a long time, in school. Like in high school, I feel like I felt a lot of shame around the tough situation at home. And if I could go back, I wish that I could have, I wish that I would have confided in people. I know I would have found a sympathetic ear. I know that I would have had people support me. I just didn't reach out because I felt so much shame, and I felt so, just so isolated. I had friends, but I didn't confide in them, and I wish I did. I wish I did. So, people are good. Reach out to people. That's it for now. I don't know why I felt this need. I think as we're coming to the year, a year since that happened, it's been on my mind a lot. Okay, I have to go. Bye.